Howdy, 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 my name's Anashi Sasuke, and welcome back to Let's Read the SCP Foundation Wiki. So, in the last episode, we finished off with the Eyes in the Dark, which was spooky. Spooky might not be the right word. Terrifying? Terrifying's better than spooky. Now I said yesterday, I think it was, I was going to do a double-long episode of SCP to make up for the fact that there were 2 days where I didn't do it, and I apologize for that. So, that being said, I wasn't sure whether or not it should be double long compared to the half hour that the episodes have been recently, or the 45 minutes that they usually are. So for now, until I figure that out, I'm just going to aim for SCP-300 and see how long it is by the time I get there. So, onward to the snooze alarm, which I feel like is probably going to be safe, if not Euclid. Okay. How is that an alarm? Oh, they tried to reverse engineer it. Okay. SCP-281 is currently contained within maximum security storage locker 18E on level 7 of Research Reliquary and Containment Site 76. 281's lithium-ion battery pack is to remain plugged into the site's main power grid unless used in testing. Necessary cables have been supplied and are stored with the object. Because of the nature of the object's anomalous properties, testing on 281 is to be authorized by the level 4 senior member of research staff currently assigned to the project. Disposable dues used in testing are not to be informed on the nature of SCP-281. Well, that sounds ominous, as most things in this website do. 281 is a makeshift device measuring approximately 25 cm by 35 by 20 cm. Built into the device is a high-capacity lithium-ion laptop battery to provide power. Why does the clock need a laptop battery? Well, I guess it's not really a clock. In addition, the object incorporates a variety of components from such diverse sources as a Philips brand alarm clock, a digital kitchen timer of unknown make and model, a NEC PC8201A portable computer, and a USB keypad brand unknown. Attempts to reverse engineer it have thus far not yielded any significant results. 281 is currently not believed to be functioning as intended by its creator. 281's effects become apparent when the following tasks are performed in the correct sequence. 1. Subject sets an alarm using the clock's interface. 2. They wait for the alarm to sound and press the clock's snooze button. The depression of the snooze button triggers the creation of a localized temporal anomaly around 281. The area affected is a spherical field with an approximate radius of 6 meters, centered on 281 and designated 281-1. Personnel and items outside this anomaly are not affected in any way. How the device creates a temporal anomaly is unknown at this time. The kitchen timer component of 281 will display 9 o'clock when 1 is created and begin counting down, or I guess 9 minutes. Setting the kitchen timer to any other amount of minutes or seconds prior to activation does not appear to have any effect on 281's functioning. Within 1, time passes at a highly increased rate, with 9 minutes lapsing inside it compared to approximately 1 millisecond outside. From the perspective of those inside the temporal anomaly, time moves at a normal rate, while outside of 1, time appears to have effectively stopped. What does this say? This effect is similar in nature to the Wonder Zoom features of 2445. While no link between the creation of these objects is believed to exist, examination of this documentation provides further insight into the nature of paratechnological temporal distortions. Okay, so it sounds like all it's doing is just giving you 9 minutes of extra sleep within a millisecond. That doesn't sound too bad. Subjects within 1 can move around it within its limits, but attempts to have subjects cross from an active instance of 1 into an area beyond its influence have invariably resulted in subjects undergoing massive and acute cellular disruption along the lines separating those 2 parts inside and outside of 1. A similar effect has been observed on subjects and objects brought into an instance of 1 from outside its area of effect. It is proven possible to move 1 by transporting 281 to a different location while active, but any materials, biological or otherwise, immediately suffer a massive cellular and molecular disruption as described above. Any organic material present within 1 when the device is activated is subject to normal biological processes over a period of time that lapses inside 1. To those outside of 1, no time appears to have passed. If subjects present in an active instance of 1 have moved during the period of time 1 was active, they will seem to have teleported to their new location. As the timer reaches 0 minutes and 0 seconds, the alarm sounds again, and time inside and outside of the instance of 1 are instantaneously resynchronized. Due to the abrupt nature of this event, subjects inside 1 when the 9-minute period expires suffer effects resembling severe decompression sickness. Known treatments for that condition have proven to be equally effective in treating 281 test subjects. Addendum: Recovery and Preliminary Containment Notes. On blankety blank 2000 something, A remote monitoring system picked up encrypted transmissions emanating from a location in the Blank Mountains. After decryption, the transmissions were found to be reporting progress on a project referred to as Full Circle, and 281 was secured by Foundation Airborne Recovery Team during a raid on a fortified hiker's cabin. The device's creator, a 36-year-old African-American male identified post-mortem as blank blank blank, exhibited erratic and aggressive behavior when encountered. No evidence exists of an affiliation with any known GOI or other organization. Okay then. So it sounds like what the alarm does is, when you hit the snooze button, if you do it the right way, you get 9 extra minutes of, I guess, whatever you feel like doing for 9 minutes, compressed into a millisecond, but as soon as that 9 minutes ends, the 9-minute millisecond catches up to you, and then you hurl. Okay, cool. So next up is Ritual Devil Sticks, which sounds like it's at the very least going to have to be Euclid, because it's called Ritual Devil Sticks. Never mind, okay, never mind. Fine. The Ritual Devil Sticks are safe. Okay. Okay, so, SCP-282 should be kept in a containment locker outfitted with a standard array of explosive, chemical, biological, and memetic high-level defenses. Are we sure that this is safe? Personnel entering 282's containment must be verified with a retinal scanner, and no experimentation sessions lasting longer than 3 hours are permitted. It's only safe because it doesn't move by itself, isn't it? I assume it doesn't move by itself, because if it did, it would be Euclid. They really should rate these things based off of how deadly they are, instead of how you can hold them. Anyway, 282 was a children's toy recovered from the Truk Atoll in Micronesia. Micronesia? I can only assume that's a real place. 282 is in the shape of a seed of devil or juggling sticks, apparently made from locally available materials. Historical/cultural sources show that 282 was originally used by natives in its island of origin as part of an elaborate annual ritual known as blank blank, literally translated, he moves. Is there a reason that they blanked out what it is, or just they didn't feel like translating that? Anyway, to bring good luck for the following year. Numerous anomalies on the island alerted Foundation to 282's presence, including exceptionally long harvest seasons, several unknown species of fruit growing locally, and reports by missionaries of strange lights and noises, and packs of children who appeared identical. Ugh. Full research on 282's properties is pending. Addendum A. Cleanup operations in the Truk Atoll have recovered large amounts of information, including a nearly complete set of use instructions for 282. Operations in the atoll will be reduced, and despite apprehensions from teams assisting in recovery 282, full testing as to whether anomalous properties can be recreated will continue. Addendum B. Personnel of level 4 or above may view Incident Report 282-CB. I guess that's me. As a blankety blank blank, any attempts to recreate the effects of 282 are punishable by termination. Dang. All remaining information is to be classified. Data expunged. Addendum C. Materials seized from a residence of the Truk Atoll resemble an incomplete replica of 282. As the replica, seemingly in the process of creation, demonstrates no anomalous properties, it has been added to 282's containment until such a time as we can ascertain its nature. Foundation-operated coercion revealed little information as to how or why it was created, but did indicate that more civilians in the area of recovery may know how or be interested in creating similar replicas. Whether the recovered replica is identical to 282 is unknown. Now let's check out that incident report that I don't have the clearance for, but they don't know that. Shh. Personal log of Dr. J. Blank, Garrison blank blank blank. Attempts to recreate the ritual described in document 282-14-17 are slow-going, mostly due to the exhausting requirements of using 282. First of all, it took us half a week to find anyone at the site who can actually use juggling sticks. For reference, researcher M. Munoz, a medical technology analyst, was ultimately chosen as the subject. Second, SCP-282 are apparently very difficult to use compared to ordinary juggling sticks, so he had to spend a few weeks working on that. Third, and most persistent, and annoyingly, the instructions we have call for the subject to juggle with 282 constantly for 36 hours, with a low rate of error and no dropping the stick, and that's the reason it's taking us 2 months so far. They can talk about dedication and project running and results, but the stamina required is damn near superhuman. It's been suggested that we apply an intravenous drip of caffeine and electrolytes to maintain alertness, and I'm willing to try that. That's kinda fucked up. Just a little bit. Hour 0. Oh, is it gonna just say the hours? Subject stands in a 10 by 10 meter blast chamber that has been prepared according to recovered instructions. Among other preparations, the subject stands in the center of a 1.5 meter diameter circle marked with native flowers with a goat's head at the anterior point. Surrounding this circle is a 3 meter circle marked with a mixture of goat and chicken entrails mashed by hand with wooden implements. Outside of this is a final 3.5 meter circle marked with chicken feathers, chicken and goat footprints and ash, and a poultice of several herbs and human blood. One chicken skeleton and one goat skeleton have been laid around the room outside the perimeter of the final circle. The subject, medical technician M. Munaz, with attached intravenous drip, stands in the center with 282. Subject begins to use 282. Hour 1 continues with no major errors in play or reports of anomalies. Vital signs are normal. 6 hours already. Hasn't dropped it yet. I'm very hopeful that this time will be it. I watched through the glass plate. I don't know what kind of voice I'm giving this. He just keeps lapsing into various different ones. Get nervous every time he fumbles. Every time. It's gotten a little ridiculous. I'm worried it might be an effect of the SCP, so I told the standing guard, but I think it's more stress than a mental pull. I'm gonna call a secondary observer and asleep on the cot in here. Woke up, he's still going. Note, instructions in the testing chamber showed that the subject's heart rate had increased slightly by this point in time. Hour 18. Subject notes sounds of laughter from inside the testing chamber. Outside observer notes nothing abnormal. 23. Subject becomes increasingly paranoid, claiming that the experiment won't work and asking if he can stop. Encouraged to continue juggling, and at no point does the subject drop the stick. Hypothesized to be a stress reaction. Hour 26. Subject claims to feel a breeze in the chamber. Signs of strong winds are apparent when animal skeletons outside the circles are moved as if being blown. However, none of the flowers in the first circle are disturbed, nor is subject's play impaired. Hour 27. All lights in the chamber abruptly dim. In addition, the outer circle appears to completely and suddenly disappear from view. Signs of wind, despite the enclosed and subterranean nature of the blast chamber, have increased. Subject is encouraged to continue juggling. Note, later records show no electrical issues with chamber lights, hypothesized to be an effect of the SCP. Hour 30, subject reports feeling cold, senses affirm that the temperature inside the chamber has dropped 20 degrees. Continues juggling. I nearly can't believe he's kept it moving this long. Obviously the error frequency was expected to go up as the time goes longer, but he hasn't dropped it once and the error rate seems to have decreased, like it's getting ingrained. Here comes the final stretch, looks tired, I don't blame him. Hour 32. Second circle moves as if being blown inwards, then disappears entirely. Subject makes no note of this. After 10 minutes, animal skeletons around the perimeter of the chamber stand up despite lack of muscle or connective tissue. Subject becomes unresponsive, muttering quietly. Hour 33. Final circle disappears and lights dim again until area inside chamber is completely dark. Observers note a voice exclaiming, "He moves," before sounds of juggling cease and a clattering noise is heard. Class 2 lockdown is ordered. Note, further analysis through infrared camera reveals that at hour 33:14, the subject's knees buckle, and after muttering loudly before footage is interrupted by several bright flashes, apparently only visible to infrared sensors. During this time, subject disappears entirely and 282 falls to the ground. Hour 34. Sound of juggling resumes from inside the chamber. Note, infrared cameras show that a figure not corresponding to M. Munaz appeared in the testing chamber, recovered 282 from the floor, and continued juggling while laughing quietly. Hour 35. Several more infrared flashes occur, some of which now translate into flashes in the visible spectrum. Containment chamber is very dark. At 35.5 hours, side of containment chamber is ruptured by a sudden heat measuring over blank degrees Celsius. Camera footage shows the unknown force proceeding to destroy obstacles in its path via obliteration, moving up an emergency stairwell, damaging stairwell, but without compromising it structurally. At ground level, it proceeds to carve a route through the facility until the perimeter of Site Blank is reached, at which point it is no longer seen. All of the above take place within 4.7 seconds. Nearby personnel report seeing only a bright, hot light. Note, camera footage shows that upon compromising the perimeter of the facility, the force paused for several milliseconds, then disappeared as opposed to exiting the facility. Infrared footage from the testing chamber shows that it is completely empty at this time. Within several seconds, light in the testing chamber returns to normal. Subject has returned to testing chamber, collapsed on the floor with 282 nearby as if dropped. In addition, a fine layer of ash covers the testing room floor. Paramedic teams rush in. Subject's currently undergoing treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder and is expected to resume normal operations shortly. After action report, interview with subject M. Munaz. I'm juggling, right? Like I've been doing for the last day. Hell, the whole day! Then everything picks up like I'm standing in a redacted hurricane, and I feel this thing. Don't even know what it is, but it was there, and Christ! Everything went black, and I knew that I had moved, that I was somewhere else, because I knew there wasn't a floor or a ceiling or those goddamn sticks where I was, just nothing really in the darkness, and then it was there. God damn it. I knew it, that there was something else there, even though I couldn't see or hear or feel it, because there was nothing to see or hear or feel. It was just waiting there, keeping me there, waiting for me to do something. I curled up in this little ball, tried to make it not notice me, but it was there, breathing down my neck the whole time. In the end, I just told it I wanted to leave. That was it. Additional data over blank and property damage was caused during Incident 282-CB, and containment of 3 separate SCPs were compromised. Because of this, current sanctions on experimentation with 282 were put in place. So, the moral of the story is don't juggle the fucking devil sticks. Okay, so, a rock that falls sideways. Okay. Displaying its rare properties. Okay. Due to the strange but harmless nature of 283, it is to be kept in a secure box against the east wall of room E107 at Site 137. Aside from that, 283 can be handled by any personnel as long as they are observed by at least a level 3 member of staff who is to keep watch over SCP-283 to prevent petty theft. Description: for all intents and purposes, 283 is an ordinary rock, slightly mottled and worn from age and collisions, made of dark gray granite. It weighs just over 1 kilogram and is 10 centimeters in length. However, instead of following the usual route of gravity, 283 is pulled in the direction of exact magnetic east. Close study reveals that 283 is, in fact, falling around the Earth as well as being pulled by its odd gravitational pull. The rock was first found after an investigation of poltergeist activity in Blank, Australia. Reported as a phenomenon known as Min lights, which are in fact known to be blank. See document data expunged for Dr. Blank Blank's notes on the subject. According to witnesses, the rock reportedly hurtled across the plains through the walls of a house and a car and was eventually stopped by a mobile trailer home where it remained lodged in the metal wall until the following morning. At first, Agent Blank believed it to be attracted by some magnetic force, although subsequent testing has proved this false. 283 is an ordinary granite cobble apart from falling in the wrong direction. Agent Blank accidentally dropped 283 and was forced to chase after it. The retrieval involved a minor head injury, but confirmed suspicions about its nature. Note from Dr. Wood. It has come to the attention of the higher-level personnel that someone has been stealing 283 for use as a paperweight. I don't care how zen it looks, any further misdemeanors will be dealt with severely. Probably termination. So, well, that was a nice, fun, harmless one after the ritual devil sticks. Now let's check out the twins. Which are also safe. Okay, cool. I guess this is going to be a safe episode. 284 1 and 2 are to be kept under minimal security protocols, with occasional off-site trips when approved by an 04 or higher level personnel. During these trips, they are to be accompanied by a minimum of 1 level 1 researcher and 1 level 1 field agent. Their quarters are a standard humanoid containment room with 2 beds. When offered separate containment quarters, they replied that privacy is moot. Description: 1 and 2 are twins born blank 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 in blank, Illinois. Though they appear to be normal, they are dizygotic twins who share a single functional brain. I'm gonna just go ahead and... of twins, derived from 2 separate ova, and so not identical. Okay then. 1 is female, 1.72 meters tall, and containing the left side of the brain. 2 is male, 1.79 meters tall, containing the right side of the brain. The portions that are not associated with either lobe rate, data redacted. In both subjects, the size of the possessed lobe is approximately 50% larger than normal, presumably to allow for maintaining function of 2 bodies at once. It has been found that while the subjects have separate personalities, they share memory, skills, knowledge, physical sensation, and have shown limited levels of emotional synergy. Though there is no way to know for certain, they claim to have taught themselves how to block out sensory information from each other to varying degrees. Vision and hearing can be blocked out completely, while taste, smell, and touch can be weakened. Doing so is a choice of the one receiving the information, not the one experiencing it. With physical skills, it should be noted that while both subjects have the knowledge of proper technique, muscle tissue only develops to properly execute the skills efficiently and with significant endurance in the subject who physically learned the skill. While the subjects do not show any advantage in proficiency for skills associated with their respective lobes, it has been found that when separated by a significant distance, they each have delayed responses from the other subject's lobe. Also of note is that both subjects seem incapable of remaining awake for more than 16 minutes after the other has fallen to sleep, and both awaken at the same time, whether allowed to sleep until they wake up on their own or awoken from their sleep separately. Test log of 1. Or test log 284-1. 1 and 2 were placed at separate ends of the facility. A team of researchers, including 2 surgeons, removed the top of 2's cranium and proceeded to apply an electrode to various points on the brain to gauge the reactions to the stimuli. In all instances, 1 experienced the same sensation or physical reaction as 2. Does that mean that 1 felt them take off the top of his head? Researchers note, today it was noted that while 1 was playing the piano in Dr. Blank's office, 2's fingers began twitching erratically. When brought to Dr. Blank's office, it was discovered that the twitching of 2's fingers were in time with the motions of 1's fingers as she played. Further study of this phenomenon is being scheduled. Well, the most uncomfortable thing about that was the implication that when they popped off the top of his head, she felt it. Which is just awful. Now it's time for a hack job. Which is Euclid. Okay. 285 is to be kept in a level 3 humanoid containment chamber on Site-43's B-Wing. 285 is to be given basic amenities. Following 285's recent cooperation with the Foundation, it is allowed exactly 2 hours of free roaming Site-43's botanical gardens with supervision by at least 1 guard if it so chooses. Personnel are not to discuss 285's past with Person of Interest 6938 without approval of Site-43's director. If this occurs, authorized technical staff are to manually remove the information from 285B via use of SP285A. B instances are not to be edited without the permission of the administrator of Site-43's technical staff. 285 is to never be given its full abilities back under any circumstances. Okay. 285 is an anomalous humanoid entity with no defined shape or internal structure, the exception being A, which consistently manifests itself on the object's back. 285's body changes sporadically with no pattern among the alterations. Despite the trauma 285 incurs as a result of this bodily mutation, it will not at any point display signs of homeostatic distress. Subject claims it cannot control these changes. These changes include, but are not limited to, loss and growth of new limbs, variable size and shape of body parts, loss and growth of height and mass. That does sound painful. A appears to be an Ethernet port, which allows access to 285's internal database. When accessed by a computer capable of wired connections between networks, various files are capable of being accessed. These files, B, contain various text files, audio files, cognito hazards, and videos. Approximately 90% of all files have been corrupted. The cause of this corruption is currently unknown. Additionally, 285 is only capable of accessing files that were formed within its own database. Investigations into B and its contents reveal that editing of B could cause external changes on 285's body and psychological state. To what extent this is possible without causing permanent damage to 285 is currently unknown. It is believed that Person of Interest 6938 used this ability to evade GOI 102, Unusual Incidents Unit. Sounds like that's something. Through consistent use of editing 285's facial structure and body type, along with editing and thaumaturgical-based offense capabilities to defend GOI 102 agents. Let's just check to see what that is real quick. Oh. Fidelity, bravery, integrity. I'm gonna bookmark this, and then someone let me know if I should come back to it or not. It seems interesting, but not interesting enough to hit right now. Recovery. 285 was recovered following an attempted arrest involving itself and an unknown individual currently believed to be 285's creator in Las Vegas, Nevada. 285 and the unknown individual, Person of Interest 6938, were initially pulled over for speeding before the officer discovered that POI 6938 had attacked a federal building in Redacted, California. This federal building was later revealed to have been under the direct control of GOI 102 and was used as a prison for anomalous humanoids. The attack by Person of Interest 6938 and 285 ended in the deaths of 34 GOI 102 personnel and the release of approximately 70% of the prison population. The officer attempted to arrest 285 and 6938, but was attacked by 285. 6938 then escaped, leaving 285 with the officer. 285 was then arrested and put into GOI 102 custody before being given over to the Foundation following an anomalous trade of information between GOI 102 and the Foundation. Both local law enforcement and federal agents were unable to locate person of interest 6938. Anomalous pathways located in Nevada are currently being investigated with Joint Foundation UIU task forces. Ooh-wee-oo! Okay, interviewer Dr. Hendrickson. Subject 285. Begin log. What is your purpose? I don't know. How do you not know? I just don't know. I have no idea why I was created, but I have an idea why I was created, but I'm not too sure. Well, tell me why you think you were created. Well, to entertain kids. Originally, I think. Although my purpose was probably altered, for lack of a better word. How do you think you were altered? It's hard to explain. I remember some things perfectly, but others I can't even think of. I think he was mad and he wanted to hurt someone, and he used me to help hurt them. I hope he didn't succeed. Why do you not want him to succeed? I don't want to hurt anyone. Then why did you attack that officer? I just did as I was told, but I think that's the only time he ever made me hurt someone, at least I think he did. Why did your creator put these various files onto you? Insurance, I guess. Explain. You see, I remember my database, for lack of a better word, being biological in nature. My brain, taps forehead, contains all the information in my database, even if I can't access anything he put on me, or anything he didn't want me to see. So, if your brain were to be damaged, or if you were to die, all the files within your database would disappear? Not disappear so much as become corrupted, but yes, that's the idea. He wanted to make sure that that if I was to get captured by the UIU or whatever it was called, that they wouldn't have been able to read my files. He really hated those guys. Maybe that's what made him mad in the first place. I remember when I brought it up, he'd get angry and yell at me a lot. I cried a little, but not a lot. He hates when I cry. It's not my fault that he created me to cry. Did he bring anything up that would have explained why he was so angry? No, but the way he sounded, it was like at the end of... But the way he sounded, it was like the end of the world to him. That's why he created me, I think. Why he altered me. He wanted to use me as something. As a weapon, I guess? Whatever it was, he wanted to hurt the UIU. He used to go on and on about how they were evil and deserved to be destroyed because they took everything from them and how they all needed to die. It was scary. Well, the UIU is not evil, I can say that with confidence. How, though? He told me they kidnap and murder innocent people who've done nothing but exist. Told me how they made being alive hell for him and his friends and family. I've never had a family, but that must hurt, right? Whatever your creator told her, it was inaccurate to reality. If you say so, Doctor, I trust you more than him anyways. Why do you think your creator left you behind? He was done with me. How was he done with you? He had done what he had wanted to do, whatever it was. I guess I was just one more loose end. If you truly were a loose end as you described, why did he not kill you himself? I think he was, and after uploading all of the files into my database, he was going to do that, but he got interrupted and he panicked. And he just hoped that the cop would just finish me off. Glad he didn't do that, you know? I like living, better than whatever I was before. Why do you think he wanted to get rid of all the files in your database? Something was there, something about some other people. He did something to them, stole something real important to them. I think he was a part of them at one point, but left? Maybe I was a part of them too, I don't know, but I know that whatever group it was, he didn't want them coming after him or finding me. Do you remember the name of this group? I don't know, man. I remember him talking about some fucking stoners, but that's pretty much it. Addendum 285.1. This is interesting. Let's see. This is Gamers Against Weed Hub. What the hell? Once again, if anyone wants me to come back around to this, let me know. The following collection of documents are filed in chronological order based off of documents from 285's internal database and GOI 102 related documents. The purpose of this collection is to provide a possible time frame regarding 285's creation and 6938's overall motive and goal. Okay. The following document has a deleted audio file believed to be addressed to 285's original owners. Okay, so Blunt is an SCP. I don't give a damn what Blunt thinks or says. I need him. Without him, I wouldn't have gotten this far. The damn feds are crawling all over the damn place, and this guy's the only thing keeping them away from me. If anything, you should be glad he's around. Better for them to be mind-fucked into oblivion than just killed, right? Man, you really gave this guy some sweet powers. You sure this guy was meant to be a kiddie thing? I thought we were meant to be pacifists or something. Not that I'm complaining, you know? That's the one thing I've always hated about you two. You're too damn soft. You don't fight back, you just sit on your ass and make jokes and do nothing. Yeah, it was fun what we did, for a while at any rate. Then Jordan got taken. You two would understand what it's like having to take care of someone, look after someone, do some real shitty things to protect the ones you love, Data Corrupted. And every damn time I tried asking you and the others about what we should do about Jordan, about how the Ravens took him. Remember what you fucking said, Jude? He got what he deserved? Well, I remember that, Data Corrupted. And we need a couple of terrorists in the world to knock the man a peg or two down. Okay, looks like there we go. Document B. Was there more Document A things? Okay. Electronic copy of as per Federal Records Act. Codename Merrymaker. Summary: subject capable of performing high-class thaumatology and minor reality warping. Possible connection to the Serpent's Hand, an anomalous terrorist organization, and is primarily active in Southern California and Nevada. Possible member of the secretive location known as the Library, the main base of the Serpent's Hand. Why is this a whole separate website? Okay, so it looks like it seems to be structured just like the SCP Wiki, but it's also a whole other thing. Okay, so human magician terrorist agent American blah 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 evidence blah 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 blah. Oh, it's Mr. Jordan. Hello, Mr. Jordan. How are you to eat a dick? If you don't wish to cooperate us, we can put you back in solitary confinement. Alright, so what is your... I hope your entire family dies of cancer. Alright, officers, take Mr. Jordan back to his cell. We're done here. Don't worry, I won't be there long. Big bro always comes in the end. Okay. C. The following document was recovered from inside 285's memory files. Originally a video, but only the audio was recovered. Audio begins with the sound of a car driving down a road. A male voice can be heard talking, identified as 6938. They're fucking animals, all of them. They beat us, abuse us, make us follow their rules, which has always fucking put us at a disadvantage, and they expect us to not fight back? It's horrible. Shaku 85 does not speak. Well, me and you will show them. We're gonna get Jordan back, then him and me, and you, are gonna take this world. Right, Hacks? Does not respond. Right, Hacks? Yes, sir. It's more like it. Now get ready, some feds are up ahead. This place could be where they keep the prisoner list and shit. And hand me that mask. Just because you don't need one doesn't mean I don't. The car slows to a halt with two car doors opening and slamming closed. Faint talking can be heard along with the sound of a door opening and closing. Audio cuts 31 minutes before beginning again. It's currently believed to have been a deleted portion of the memory. Vomiting noises can be heard as someone is yelling. God fucking damn it, you fucking dumbass! Can't you do anything right? I'm sorry, alright? I just can't. Vomits. Damn it, Blunt. Why do you have to make you so much of a pansy? A guy can't do this, it hurts. I'd expect so. They made me put that feature in. They? Yeah, the fucking stoners. Blame them for what's going on. When someone like me or some other person feels bad for killing someone, it's like 5 times as painful for you, increased empathy and the like. I would have made you like me, but they just had to be... Vomiting noises begin again. Get it out of me! Help me! Make me a sociopath or something! I can't! I won't do this for the rest of my life! I can't. It's a built-in feature they made me put in you. I'd have to kill you to remove it. So better get used to it, Hacks. Thankfully it wasn't too useless. We got what we needed. Go ahead and get some rest or whatever. Yes, sir. Okay, and document D. The following phone call is believed to be between 6938 and 6939 Jordan, after they had escaped the correctional facility where 6939 had been placed. Hey Jude, you there? Yes, I am. What happened? Fuck if I know, man. Our, mutual friends did something to Hacks. What do you mean they did something to it? I can't mess with his files now without possibly killing him at any rate. And? Which means he's a liability. They know his face, and he doesn't have any of the fancy stuff he used to have. Now he just sort of changes at random. He's too dangerous. What do? We, do what we need to do. Of course. Where will it be? Outside of Vegas, I'll meet you at Salt Lake. Alright, just be careful, alright? You know I am, brother. Love you. Love you too. The following document was given to the Foundation by GOI 102 during the initial trade between 102 and the Foundation. Holy heck! You just found yourself your very own Mr. Hacks by Gamers Against Weed. Always use Animalware kids. Who is this 4chan? Collect them all and become Mr. Gamer. Mr. Literal Serial Killer, Mr. Normie, Mr. Bernie... SCP Mr. Normie, SCP-3015, Mr. Get anything for free in any shop, UIU File 2016-04, Mr. Sex Number, SCP-3697, Mr. Heavenly Virtues, Mr. Deadly Sins, My Original Character, Mr. Original Character, Mr. Dare, Mr. Gentrification, Mr. Mad About Video Games, Mr. Meme, Mr. Ominous, discontinued, Mr. Destiny, Mr. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Mr. Zapatista, Mr. Hacks, Mr. Just Has the Tattoo, Log of Anomalous Items, Just Has the Tattoo, Mr. Top Text and Mr. Bottom Text, Mr. Finale, and Mr. Humble Water Filter Merchant. The following document was discovered inside of a sealed envelope addressed to the Site-43 staff. Dear Janitors/Ravens, I know this type of thing isn't our usual style, but we as a group decided that this situation couldn't be considered normal by any stretch of the imagination. We know you have hacks, and we know what happened to him, including what happened with Ken and Jordan, and what they planned on doing to him. How we know this is not important, but what is important is what we learned from it, and we just want to say one thing to everyone involved. We're sorry. We're sorry we trusted a monster who we thought was our friend. We're sorry that we couldn't stop him in time. We're sorry that we couldn't prevent what you went through, Hacks. I and the rest of the group want to say that we never wanted to end this way. For Hacks, for you janitors, or for the Ravens, who didn't deserve what happened to them. We just wanted to bring happiness to children with your powers. We just wanted to mock you and the Ravens. We didn't mean for this. We never intended for things to end like this. We are so sorry. Signed, Gamers Against Weed. P.S. Don't worry about Ken or Jordan. We've dealt with them. Well. Sarcasm hub. Well. That was interesting. Next up, the Brothers game. Which was safe, but is not anymore. 286 is to be kept in a secure containment cell at Site 19 that allows an open, secure perimeter of at least a 50-meter radius around 286. Only disposable dudes are permitted to have direct physical contact with 286, and only as a part of an approved experiment. Update, July 19th, 2000-something. Experiments with 286 are hereby suspended until further notice. See Technical Note TN 28655, which is a whole separate thing. I'll open that. Oh, okay, it's going to be on this page. Why does it have a separate link if it's on this page? Surveillance cameras are to be positioned to allow 360-degree monitoring of 286 during experimentation. Recording shall be maintained and cataloged of all Sigma states exhibited by 286. It used to say, the archive of these states is to be made available to any researchers with level 2 clearance or higher. Now it says, as of incident I-286-5, surveillance of 286 is to be continuous, and any initiation of a Sigma state is to be immediately reported to Overwatch Command. Outside the immediate project directorate, the 286 Sigma state archives and associate material to be restricted to level 4 access. Under no circumstances are identified instances of 286-1 or 2 to be prevented from having contact with 286. It must have taken a hell of a lot to make it go from safe to Euclid if 05 is involved. 286 is a carved stone game board, measuring 83 centimeters on a side. It bears markings consistent with the Chinese game of that. According to current historical evidence, Niubo is known to have been popular with the upper-class Chinese from at least the Warring States period, until it fell out of fashion sometime during the Jin Dynasty. Based on artifacts found with 286 during recovery, 286 has been dated to at least the Shang Dynasty, 1500 BCE. Though all attempts to date the carvings directly have been inconclusive. Analysis of 286 composition has shown high concentrations of iron and nickel, and crystalline microstructures consistent with redacted. If any human being, cross that out, higher order mammal touches 286, it will initiate a Sigma state. A Sigma state is indicated by the appearance of 12 tokens on the surface of the game board. Did you just hear my phone move? No. The tokens appear to be constructed of the same material as 286. This is a hypothesis based on non-invasive sensors. It has been so far impossible to retrieve a token for direct physical examination. 6 tokens are dark, absorbing approximately 75% more ambient light than the board surface, while 6 tokens are light, emitting approximately 75% more ambient light than which actually strikes them. Appearing with the tokens on the board on the game surface are 2 18-sided dice, apparently made of bronze. As with the game tokens, direct physical examination of the dice has proven to be impossible. It sounds like some sort of strange chess. Or Jumanji. The dice share the anomalous reflective and absorption properties shown by the game tokens, one light and one dark. Otherwise, the dice appear consistent with dice found in non-anomalous Liubo sets recovered from various Chinese archaeological sites. I wonder if I can find a picture of what a game of Liubo looks like when it's not an SCP. Well, that was easy. Statues are a little creepy, but it was... Oh, here's another one. History.chess.free.fur. Okay. A Sigma state will also manifest 1 and 2 to play a game. 1 and 2 are human beings, higher order mammals, who have suffered temporary alterations in patterns of movement, cognition, behavior, and vocalization. 1 will appear agitated, movements will become jerky and imprecise, vocalizations will be quick, stuttering, and aggressive. 2 will appear sluggish, movements halting and slow, vocalizations will be low-pitched, throaty, and tend to be monosyllabic. Subjects capable of human speech will converse, but only to their opposite number during a Sigma event. Such conversations or monologues, in the case of a subject facing a non-human opponent, are conducted in a random sequence of human languages, sometimes shifting multiple times within a single statement. Only 45% of the recorded conversation between 1 and 2 have been successfully translated to date. The subject who initiated the Sigma state will become an instance of 1 if they touch 286 on an illuminated surface, or they will become an instance of 2 if they touch 286 on a surface that is in shadow. In either case, the subject will take a seated position to one side of the board. Instances of 1 will take position to the nearest light side, and they will blah blah blah. And roll one of the 2 dice. Always use light, blah 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 blah. After the dice is rolled, some other higher order mammal will appear within 47 meters of 286 and become the subject's opposition. 2 in the case where the subject is 1, or 1 in the case where the subject is 2. The selection appears to be related to the result of the first dice roll. The 18 possible die results from this opening roll can be represented by points on a matrix with 2 axes. One denoted geographic proximity and the other denoted physical similarity to the subject. The most proximate roll, designated Site 1, results in selecting another disposable due to the same race and gender from the site housed in 286. The least proximate roll, designated 18, resulted in the selection of an opposite-gendered Phascolarctus cinereus from its native habitat in northeastern Australia. I just want to find out what that is. It is a koala! I was going to guess koala, but was like, how could that possibly mean koala? I am not a scientist, but I guess it means koala. So that means that koalas are dragged to play this game if you roll an 18. It feels like that's what will happen when you roll a 1 because crit fails, but I guess crit fails are 18 in this game. After appearing, the subject's opposition will take a seated position facing the wall, and will commence playing the first move. Gameplay then consists of 1 and 2 alternately rolling dice and moving game pieces on the board in complex patterns. The game is won when the center square contains all of one size tokens and only that size tokens. The actual rules for the historical game of Liubo are unknown, and gameplay during Sigma events show no clear correspondence with any hypothesized reconstructions of the original rules for Liubo. A mathematical analysis of recorded games by Dr. Lewa has proved that there can be no consistent n-dimensional rule set covering all of the recorded games for any value of n less than 5. What? A winning move concludes the Sigma state. During a Sigma state, 1 and 2 will show no reaction to any external stimuli that does not physically interfere with 1, 2, and their interaction with the game. If something disrupts an ongoing game, such as touching 1 or 2 or moving a dice or a die or game token, 1 or 2 will stand and vocalize a statement that commonly translates as forfeit, less commonly as draw. This event will also conclude a Sigma state. When a Sigma state concludes, players cease being designated 1 and 2, and game tokens, dice, and the subject opposing player all vanish. In all of the blank cases where the opposing player summoned by the subject has been positively identified, it has been confirmed that at the conclusion of a Sigma state, the opposing player reappears in the exact place where they had been prior to being summoned. All observed subjects and those opposing players who have been identified and examined have shown no physical after effects from interaction with 286. However, all cases have shown a marked increase in spirituality and interest in religious subjects, including, but not limited to, adoption of new belief systems, taking on of vows, speaking in tongues, and prophetic visions. One opposing player was discovered to have founded a cult called blank 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 in the southwestern United States within 6 months after exposure. For the winning player, this new spirituality will tend to take on an optimistic messianic character. For the losing player, attitudes will tend towards the apocalyptic. Addendum, technical note, blah 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 blah. Historically, Liubo was not only a game, but also used as a method of divination. The various spots on the game board corresponding to that sexagenary cycle used by Chinese to recount the passage of time since the earliest written text. Given the propensity of subjects to have prophetic visions subsequent to their participation in a Sigma event, it has been theorized by several researchers that the moves during a Sigma event may themselves be of some prophetic significance. While the possible significance of individual moves recorded during Sigma events is ongoing and so far inconclusive, it has been determined that the act of winning does appear to correspond to significant events beyond the game itself. In particular, every instance of 1 winning has been tied to intensification of sunspots, solar flares, and generally increased solar activity. 2 winning has been associated with significant tectonic events, including Redacted. Because it is not known if these events were predicted by one-side winning or caused by one-side winning, experimentation on 286 has been suspended as an unacceptable risk. And then there's this document. Excerpted translation of dialogue between 1 and 2 during Sigma event number 27. Disposable Dude was a male, Caucasian, 44 years of age, identified 1 after initiation of a Sigma state. Opposition player 2 was an as of yet unidentified Hispanic female, approximately 20 years of age. The Sigma state lasted for 68 minutes, at which time 1 achieved the winning move. During the Sigma event, the players conversed in 25 known languages and approximately 15 unknown languages. Approximately 30% of their dialogue was undecipherable or in an indeterminate language, marking this episode the most completely translated yet recorded. Begin transcript. 1. You move, rotate, slowly and precisely as untranslatable matter earth universe. 2. Have possessed patience by our brother and still quiet silence untranslatable mind thoughts brain. Untranslatable. Hahaha! Distress, discomfort, displeasure, untranslatable to you. Why would I untranslatable your sins, perversions, abominations? Hahaha! You disgust me, untranslatable matter earth universe disgusts me. You untranslatable in that meat skin, this amuses me. Untranslatable move process sequence. Every time, moment, eternity, my untranslatable closer. I must will, shall illuminate, enlighten this untranslatable. Move process sequence. You are too comfortable, undisturbed, enslaved, bound, chained within untranslatable meat doll puppet. Do you untranslatable love arousal untranslatable? Move process sequence or forfeit. Untranslatable, untranslatable, untranslatable. Untranslatable exiled banished me to matter earth universe. Untranslatable no understand me more than you. Untranslatable will no understand me and be consumed, engulfed, destroyed by knowledge understanding. But brother, I am so much closer. Incident report I-286-5. SCPs involved 8612 SCP-435? Date March the 11th, 2000 something. Funny, March 11th, one of my animals is moving out of my town in Animal Crossing. SCP-286's containment area, Site 19. Description. At 5:31 UTC, Standard Security Monitoring 286 containment area detected the unauthorized presence of Dr. A Foundation researcher temporarily assigned to Site 19, most recently assigned to the study of SCP-435. Subsequent investigation has determined that the chemical composition and crystalline structures of 286 and 435 are identical. All experimentation on 286 had been suspended for the preceding 8 months, and no activity within the object had been observed. A security team was dispatched, reaching Dr. S as she entered the 286 containment area. Upon arrival, the security team discovered the presence of Dr. Lu, a researcher assigned to 286, already seated behind the dark side of 286. 286 showed the signs of already being in a Sigma state. Both researchers showed behavioral anomalies consistent with 286-1 and 2. Believing an unauthorized experiment was underway, the security team restrained Dr. S before she could seat herself at 286. In response, Dr. L stood and vocalized what has been identified as Vulgate Latin words for grand forfeit. The Sigma state concluded at 5:45 UTC. Neither researcher could provide any explanation of how they were affected by 286. Dr. S's last recollection was having a cup of coffee at a staff commissary on the other side of Site 19's complex from 286, while Dr. L reported that he had been reading emails in his office when he blacked out. Simultaneously with the cessation of 286 Sigma state, there was a sudden emergency in Redacted when 435-1 unexpectedly entered an active state, moving erratically and Redacted, impacting the ocean basin at Redacted, causing a Redacted. Contingency 435XK Alpha had been initiated but was cancelled when 435-1 came to rest 3 minutes later. 286 classification is hereby upgraded to Euclid. Okay, so apparently, if a grand forfeit takes place in 286, 435-1 gets angry. We'll find out what that is eventually. So, next up is... Not that, we just read the Brothers game. Next up is Clark's third favorite sword. I don't know who Clark is or why he has 3 swords, but we're gonna find out. His third favorite sword is a piece of shit. Now then, it's a safe piece of shit, and that's what's important. 287 is stored in a climate-controlled, secure locker in Site 22 in order to prevent additional deterioration. At this time, no additional testing is required, but may be approved by Dr. Sigurd Olafsson, who is SCP-3609. There is a lot of SCPs in the 3000s coming up today. Like, I know I'm a long way away from the 3000s, but the 200s need to chill a little bit. Sources of electricity are to be kept away from 287's locker at all times. If testing with 287 is required, insulated gloves are to be worn to prevent accidental discharge into the hilt. Accidental discharge from what? 287-1's remains are to be kept in storage until further notice. Research requests for 1 can be routed to Dr. Zarshan and are restricted to level 4 personnel or level 2 personnel from the exobiology department. Okay then. 287 is a Viking arming sword, measuring 78 centimeters from pommel to tip and weighing 1,077 grams. 287 is in a state of significant decay due to exposure to outside elements from anywhere from 900 to 1100 years. 287 was found in Blank, Iceland, alongside several written records. See Discovery Log, which is hopefully actually in here. Okay, it looks like it. 287 is comprised primarily of iron, with several potentially anomalous components incorporated into its structure. Several of these materials have been detected by Foundation probes traveling within extrasolar regions of our galaxy, as well as probes which redacted. Carbon dating has placed 287's creation to around the early 10th century CE. Samples of exoplanetary metals and materials have proven to be more difficult to date, and analysis is ongoing. 287's anomalous effect can be observed when an electrical current is applied through the metallic portions of the hilt, exposed just below the guard. These exposed elements are in a noticeably better state than the iron portions of 287. 287's internal components will begin to emit several frequencies of EM radiation and varying sounds, invariably described as distressing by research staff and test subjects. Radiation produced by 287 causes all humans who are exposed to it to experience acute audiovisual hallucinations and severe headaches. 287's specific hallucination takes the form of translucent human-like figures in the immediate vicinity, invariably outfitted as members of an armed force. The armament and armor worn by 287's hallucinations varies by subject, with a general trend towards the individual's perception of what they consider to be modern armament. Testing with animals as well as anomalous EM fields and sounds of the exact same frequencies do not produce the same effect in any combination of cases. Higher amperage currents have increased this effect to a maximum of 437 individual hallucinations. See document ER 27287 for specific amperage count levels. Further testing was deemed unnecessary. 1 is believed to be an extraterrestrial organism found in the same location as 287. The exact origin of 1 is unknown at this time. A full report on 1 can be found in document R27-287-1. See Addendum B for a partial report. 1's potential spacecraft, designated 2, see Addendum B for a partial report, appears to be completely destroyed. The current working hypothesis for 2 is that it was intended as some form of escape pod from a larger vessel. Discovery. 287 was discovered from a burial mound outside of Blank, Iceland on January 2000. See Addendum A for details. The remains found within the tomb proved to be non-human, and the Foundation took custody of 287, and the remains were designated 1. 1's remains are skeletal and are humanoid, though significantly different from human skeletal structure. Additionally, several written sources were found within the tomb and acquired by the Foundation. Dr. Sigurd Olafsson was consulted to help translate the writing, which is attached below. This is a weirdly fancy addendum. The discovery of 287 was predicated upon reports of ghost soldiers in an area outside of Blank, Iceland. A recent storm had struck the burial mound containing 287, conducting current into 287 through a crude lightning rod made of iron. The hallucinations created by 287 affected an amateur film crew. The crew informed local authorities, and Foundation information gathering subroutines flagged these reports as potentially anomalous. Keywords: Ghost Spectre, Crazy Kids, Hallucination with a double correlation factor of Gamma 6. Class A amnestics were administered to all witnessing parties, and the burial site was declared a heritage dig site through a Foundation shell corporation. Within the burial mound, Foundation agents discovered 287, 287-1, and additional written materials dating back to the early 10th century CE. A transcription was created by Dr. Sigurd Olafsson. Unintelligible sections are most likely proper nouns with no direct translation. I'm not sure what kind of voice to do for this. I feel like I should, do a mock Skyrim voice since they all sound like the same dude. I am Halvar Skadison, Skald of Unintelligible, and I have been trusted with the tale of Thor's champion, the Meteor Lord. In the depths of winter, the year after the Great Raid, we saw a fiery meteor in the sky. It landed deep in the heart of the northern waste, and we followed it. A wondrous thing it was. I can't do a fucking Skyrim voice, but I'm gonna keep going. Gleaming and covered in ghost lights, we approached and found a man standing in a heavy cloak examining the meteor. The ghost lights went dark and the figure pressed his hands to the outside of the star. A wondrous light filled our eyes as the star opened. He disappeared into the meteor and emerged to look at us with such fiery determination in his eyes. We knew he could only be a king, sent to us from Odin himself. He would protect us from the raids, and we would know prosperity again. Our prayers had been answered. Daily did the elders of our village come to his resting site, but his own tongue was blessed only to speak the language of the Aesir. Weeks passed as he learned our language. When he learned of our plight, he appeared to grow angry and charged back to the meteor, to fashion himself a mighty weapon with which to defend the village. Weeks later, he emerged with a sword in his hand, gleaming and mighty. He held it aloft and his power was made manifest. Ghostly warriors, heroes of Valhalla, stood around him brandishing weapons. We threw ourselves on the ground, our heads aching with the glory of these Valhalla warriors, and this pleased the Meteor Lord. For years, when the raids came, we ran in supplication to the Meteor Lord. He emerged and all fled from his flashing blade and burning eyes. We marked the way to the Meteor Lord home with the Cairn Stones. During the Battle of Unintelligible, the Meteor Lord's fall came. His powers failed him, and Odin recalled him to Valhalla. We buried him with all the honor we could muster and fashioned a conduit for the great storms from Thor. On stormy nights, the heroes still come and watch over our village, their glory splitting the head of any man who dare look upon them. Okay. Tracing back from the story presented in the included writings, Foundation agents tracked down the meteor mentioned in the epic translated by Dr. Olafsson. Excavating the object in question led to an almond-shaped craft made of unknown material. Research regarding this craft can be found in document R27-287. Within the craft, several records were found, written in an unknown language upon crude paper. It is hypothesized that this is some kind of journal of 287-1. An exact translation is nearly impossible, however using redacted or partial translation has been attempted. Unknown place. Unknown people. Primitive. Violent. Untranslated didn't survive. Everything is lost, must find a way back. Too many counting on me. They found me, managed to put together untranslated hood. They won't see me, must learn their language, must keep them away from me. Unknown biology may infect. I see their weapons. Mine non-functional. Made one like theirs used last of the untranslated. Tuned to alien brain chemistry. Hope it scares them off. Not sure how much longer I can work on untranslated. Not having most likely a proper noun nearby is unbearable. Dying, breaking. They came back. I used the weapon. Scares them. Untranslated almost done. May be able to leave. Down to 16 cells, items, spheres. They brought others. I scared them again. Not sure if I could repair the untranslated. Though I had enough closest to match was a chemical formula matching SP-148. Used most likely proper nouns necklace. Still not enough. Won't stop coming. Only one cell item sphere left. Time running out. Power nearly gone. I can't repair untranslated. Too many unit of time. It is hypothesized that at this point, whatever power source 1 was using to activate 287 ran out. 287-1 was most likely killed during the next raid without 287 to protect them. Okay, so it sounds like they weren't, like, being all amazing for the sake of the Vikings. It sounds like they were trying to keep everyone away from them while they did the thing and the Vikings just started worshipping them. Who the hell is Clark? Like, after all that, Clark's third... Who the hell is Clark? And why was it necessary to call this that? There was not even almost a mention of any dude named Clark in there at all. But anyway, this has been going for about an hour, so I figure I'll probably end this episode here. In the next episode, we'll hit the Stepford marriage rings, inertial amplifier, the Pegasus machine, probably the disassembler reassembler, to see how close we get to 300. So, it's been Anashi Sasuke. I think this might have been episode 69. Let me check. Yeah, this is episode 69 of Let's Read the SCP Foundation Wiki. If you liked it, a like and a subscribe would be groovy. If you didn't, you don't need to do either one of those things. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.